I'm Darius A. Stanton, and I'm joined by a dynamic group of people. And I'll start with our queen, Darlene Brown. Peace and love, queen. How are you?
Peace and love, King. I am awesome and amazing. Excited to be here. You know I get revved up when we talk about money.
That's right. That's right. All pumped up and ready to go. And also another big money man, listed in Forbes magazine as one of the top black wine producers in the world. This brother is top 10 in so many different areas: jazz, wine, none other than MJ himself, Marcus Johnson. Peace and love, King.
Hey, peace and love right back to you and everybody and our guest, and looking forward to a great discussion today.
No doubt about it. And speaking of a great discussion, we have in the house two out-of-sight dynamite people, the founder of Guap Coin. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrency, money, finance, how to stabilize yourself, how to get into the business, what it takes to start it, and also the Queen Ansylla Ramsey of CryptoVibes.com. She's an educator in crypto technology and really just being able to put us in the space, and does it in so many different ways. Plus, she knows about 4 or 5 languages. She can teach that too. Our good friend Ansylla Ramsey. Welcome back, Ansylla.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me back.
No doubt. And Miss Tavonia Evans, thank you so much, creator and founder of Guap Coin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're excited about it. So when we come back, we're going to get all into crypto technology, and also we're going to talk specifically about Guap Coin. Do you have your Guap? That's right. That's the question we want to know today. So when we come back on the Lights of the Roundtable, please share, like this show on Facebook. Make sure you go to our YouTube page, put your questions in. We can do what we can to make sure those things get addressed. And also make sure when something resonates with you or it really hits you home, then you hit hashtag the lights are on when we come right back with the Lights of the Roundtable. Peace and love.
Welcome to the Lights of the Roundtable podcast with your co-host, Marcus Johnson, Darlene Brown, and Darius A. Stanton. Featuring special souls from around the globe, these cool, organic, and vibrant personalities come together to discuss the importance of physical health, spiritual strength, and mental well-being, all in an effort to empower our communities one dialogue at a time. Are you ready? Now is the time to break away from the hustle, bustle, and everyday struggles of life. Come shift your focus and flip the switch on a world less bright. The lights are on.
Hey, hashtag the lights are on. I'm Darius A. Stanton. We're back with the Lights of the Roundtable with Queen Darlene Brown.
Hey, King, how are you? Excited to be here and get this show started. Always pumped up and ready to go.
And our good brother Marcus Johnson.
What's up, my man? Let's get it rolling. Let's get it flowing.
All right. Well, since he said flow, I guess it's next time to get the show up off the road. And we have two queens that are dynamos in the cryptocurrency space. And I say dynamo, I mean tear the roof off the mother, because these queens have put in place something that is really an opportunity for us to share. One is education, and the other one is a platform. And so we are very pleased to have none other than Miss Ansylla Ramsey. Peace and love, Queen.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me back.
CryptoVibes.com, and the founder of Guap Coin herself, Miss Tavonia Evans.
Hi.
So let's get right into it. Guap Coin, crypto technology. Ansylla, just tell us, the whole world of cryptocurrency and that whole space. Give us just an overview of how it's come to be and what is cryptocurrency.
Well, simply put, because first let me say I am not a techie. I am just an end user. But simply put, it is digital money that you can use it just like you use physical money, but the only difference is you don't have the physical counterparts like dollars or coins that you can carry around. It only resides in the digital space. So simply put, that's kind of the base foundation of what cryptocurrency is.
Got it. Darlene?
No, I was just going to say, but different in that it's digital money, like you said. It's not like when you use your credit card, which is digital, or your debit card, which is digital. It's accessing tangible dollars, which you could go to an institution or a machine and withdraw in the forms of actual physical currency. And so that difference is crypto is only in the digital world.
Exactly.
Well, and then now, you know, and Tavonia can share this with us, but now that it's grown so much, I mean, at first people were like, I'm scared to do it. I don't know. It's not real. It's not regulated. We can't trust it. But now you got ATM machines that deal in cryptocurrency. Am I correct?
Yes, there are ATM machines. They've actually been there for quite a while. They've been there for almost 10 years now. Well, maybe not 10 years, probably about 6 or 7 years. Yeah, it's about as real as you can get. I mean, most people are using their debit card these days, and they're not using cash, especially thanks to the pandemic, where people are not accepting cash. You know, cash is fading out, and digital is in. So yeah, it's the new paradigm, but it's definitely the now, and that's, you know, digital money.
So in your space, you know, what tell us about your background, Tavonia, and how you came into, you know, to doing what you're doing, please.
Well, I'm a engineer, a data scientist, technologist. I've been in the field for over 25 years now. And, you know, technology has just been my thing. I was introduced to Bitcoin years ago, but to be honest, I was one of those people that didn't pay attention to it because I had about a million other things going on at the time. And I didn't get it immediately. You know, I'll be totally honest. I didn't get that it was money. If I'd have got that it was money back then I would have paid attention. But it was at the heel of my last startup, like right around 2015, 2016, that I realized the need for it. I realized that it was money and what it was, and it clicked. And then I realized how there was a need for it in our community. You know, we tend to be the last one to know. And that puts us in the consumer category and not the creator category. So we miss the real benefits of these things, you know, being at the ground floor of a project and building it from the ground floor, especially in something like cryptocurrency, is very important. And it's very important to our community because, you know, this is a way we build trust. It is a trustless system, but you build trust by participating in it from the ground floor. That's how you gain an understanding of the impact that it can make on the community.
Wow. So in that space now, you know, what was the motivator for you? You speaking of ground floor.
Well, the motivator for me was that, you know, personally, like I said, I was a founder of a startup, and you know, they were raving about the startup. We were going in front of VCs, et cetera, but we weren't getting any money. And that's when I found out that Black women don't get any money for tech, you know, for their startups. We don't get investment. So I was like, okay, I am what you call a solutionary. I like, well, if you're not going to give me money, let me create it. Because, you know, again, I was getting deep into crypto at this time, and I was like, oh, but we can create our own money. We need to create our own money for so many more reasons than even just that. So I jumped into it head first. I left my other startup to start Guap, and you know, then you know, the rest is, I guess they say, history, right?
Wow. Marcus, so as the founder of Flow, you know what it's like to have to go in front of investors, and venture capitalists, and in that space, Darlene, yourself as well. What is it that you see in that space? Can you believe in 2021 people still look at us differently when we come in the room versus other people? You already got the degree, you already have the past performance. You always have all these things that they say you check off because we live in America. And in America, it's everything's equal. That's what the vice president just finished saying. We don't have racism in America. So how's there a difference when you walk in the room? Have you ever experienced anything different from that, Marcus?
Man, look, I could go on and on about what I've experienced, and it is palpable. You can cut it with a knife. The main thing that I do is try to make sure that I continue to move forward. People around me, Lim is very instrumental in saying like, okay, that might be the case. Now, what are we going to do with that? Because, I look at it, it's designed to break you down mentally. So if you let it break you down mentally, then you're out of the game. And that's what it's designed to do. And then you quote unquote lose. But I've had macroaggressions, microaggressions, straight racism, straight prejudice from everywhere, from Johannesburg, South Africa, to, Montgomery County, Maryland. And, I think we live in a world where we live in a farce that it doesn't exist anymore, especially in a time where we're taught how to be different and to isolate ourselves from each other more and more every day. It's mine. It's my family. You're not part of my inner family. I got to take care of my core. And again, my thought is that we're programmed that way because it's divide and conquer. And it's not just divide the individual and conquer. It's divide society. And now I can get the message I need to get to each individual person, each individual way. So we just have to continue to fight that. Use shows like Lights of The Roundtable to then be like our community's Norton disc doctor. We defragment and we pull all the stuff back together, information, motivation, education, and our spirituality.
Absolutely. I have experienced it and still continue to experience it because it does exist. You do learn on how to navigate those scenarios, but it does require you to have a very clear understanding of self. And that's something that we talk about on the Lights of the Roundtable. If you do not clearly understand that you get to create your own reality and that you have this ability, this divine essence, this power to do that, and that it is yours, right? It is yours already here for the taking. That helps to fortify your don't quit, never give up mindset. Would you agree with that, MJ? Absolutely, right? Because that is how it is designed to wear you down. And as you're dealing with things of that way on a day-to-day basis, you're human. It can, and that's why it's so important for you to feed your mind with positive media, to have the right people, the like people in your life around you that continue to not just encourage and support you on this journey, but to be a resource of information, to be a resource of a safe space where you can be transparent and speak to the truth of, this is a lot, and they can let you be human and say that, and then come back and say, but I got you, and you got you, and God's got you, and you're built for this, and you can do this, and then give you what you need in those moments to help fortify you to keep going forward. Because we live in a world where we must understand that is taught, and like he said, it is programming, and you have to be willing to acknowledge that it's programming and then question what you've been programmed with, and then have the courage to unlearn that which you have been programmed with so that you can then then to learn the new that you need that's going to allow you to be empowered and to be the light that you are.
And
speaking of light, if you're watching this, please let me just throw it out there so people can hashtag put the lights are on. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, like us, share this show, because we need people to be informed. You know, we want to turn the light on in your house, and your family, and your community, so you can raise the money like Tavonia talked about. I'd love to understand from everybody, like, what was put in you as a child make you still go beyond, you know, when they close the door or tell you no. I remember going after my first house at 21, 22 years old, and I stopped because I sent the information in 3 times to the bank, and the 4th time they came back and asked for the same thing. I got up and walked away. You know, it was my first time. My parents had not bought their own home at the time, so I didn't know any better, right? But you know, Tavonia, what was it in you? You know, what did your mom or dad or grandparents teach you in your circle that made you like, I'm not taking a no for an answer, I'm gonna go create my own?
Well, they taught me some awesome stuff. My mother, first of all, was a Black Panther. So my mom she was tough. But she's still tough. Super tough. My mom doesn't take no for an answer. My mom, you know, steps in with her privilege. She's like, I know what I'm due. So she definitely instilled that in me. More importantly, she instilled like a wealth of knowledge. She made sure that I soaked up as much knowledge as I possibly could about everything, you know, from A to Z. And she made sure that I faced, you know, my bullies. You know what I mean? My mom was the type of person, you're not gonna come back here crying and not want to go back. You're gonna face these people. You know what I mean? And so she instilled a lot of strength in me. My mom's a very, very strong person. And then my family, I come from a very diverse international family, very tolerant of many different people, so to speak. My grandmother had 9 kids. I have 8. So, you know, but from them, you know, I pretty much learned, I think I learned how, you know, how valuable we are, how royal we are, how, you know, we had a very, you know, even though we lived in Brooklyn and we grew up in Brooklyn and, you know, we grew up in, you know, around we are the common people. My grandparents were still like royalty amongst the common people. And they taught, you know, and they taught us that, and they really instilled that in us. So I had a sense of value in knowing my worth, you know, knowing me as an individual, you know, and knowing that I can constantly build my worth as long as I keep learning and expanding my knowledge. My work is growing as I'm building. So yeah, they were incredible people.
Awesome.
Ansylla?
Wow.
Well, I just can say that my mom's example of always making it work, you know, single mom, and no matter what, we always had what we needed. She always did what she had to do. But at the same time, she was always a seeker of freedom. She always was looking for something that would give her the freedom to have her schedule the way she wanted it to be able to live the life she wanted to live. And that definitely has affected me, because that is my whole existence right now. I'm going to do whatever I need to do so that I don't have to punch a clock. That's my goal in life. So I saw that my whole life. She always was trying to stay in control of her time and not surrender, and always be under the direction of a company or a person. And that's really instilled that desire in me as well. And that's why I'm in crypto right now. I left corporate America. I started my own hair care business, which was extremely demanding. And all that was being on, instead of having one boss, I have a different boss every couple hours. My schedule was still controlled by other people. So I said, there's got to be a better way. And this led me to understanding crypto. And that's how I've been taken care of myself for the past 4 years is with cryptocurrency.
That's good. I mean, I'd love to get into that. I mean, literally, what's Guap coin, what cryptocurrency, and how is it taking care of you?
So for me, Guap for me is not the coin that I use to provide for myself. Guap is my HODL coin. I'm holding my Guap because I know it's going to be huge, and I earn Guap every single day. That's my passive income. But there are other coins that I use for staking, for investing, for trading that generate income that I can use to then cash out to take care of my necessities. So Guap is not that coin, but there are others that enable you to do that. The decentralized finance space gives a lot of opportunity for passive income. And it's just a matter of learning those strategies. And even like now the market is down, when you know those strategies, that doesn't affect you as much as you may hear the wailing in the streets of people who are crying because the market's down right now.
So the way that you describe a Guap coin to me might be something that I'm investing in, and I'm not looking to pull it out liquidity immediate. I want it to stay there, and over a period of time, it will earn me a higher yield.
Well, I want to answer that. We are literally making a currency where we want people to be able to spend, in the community. So this is money. However, we are early in the process. So I understand accumulating that. Some of us are accumulating and getting ready for that time when we're going to be, using this on a daily basis, right? So, so we have, and especially if you're a governor and you actually have a masternode or a masternode share where you're actually accumulating coins every day. So, this is a strategy that you're using because you're like building a financial future for yourself. So when we do put this into play and we're using it on a grand scale, you've already accumulated, quite a bit that you can use on a day-to-day basis. So it's a smart strategy now to keep accumulating and to keep holding it now, but preparing for the time that this is used in the marketplace. We already do have marketplaces now. We do have people that accept Guap coin now. So, you can spend it and stuff like that. However, because again, it is not only that we're early in this, but this is the whole crypto arena for us is early, so we catching up. So we have to accumulate and hold so that we could catch up and have some significant investment in it so that, we can use it comfortably in the future.
So check it out. We're going to take a break and actually catch some commercials and learn, how to get on board with Guap coin and how to check in and tune in to Crypto Vibes and Flow Wine and all the people who sponsor the Lights of the Roundtable. So when we come back, we're going to dig into what is Guap coin versus Coinbase versus Bitcoin so people can understand. They hear coin, but we're going to dig a little deeper so we understand how to use it, what the platforms are, how to set your wallet up, and just the basics around cryptocurrency. This is the Lights of the Roundtable. I'm Darius A. Stanton. Make sure you have the lights are on. We'll be right back.
So here's a look at, this is a testnet wallet. As you can see at the top of it, says Guap coin wallet testnet. We use a coin called T-Guap, which means test Guap. You can't use it on the real blockchain. It's just test currency, okay? So one of the key features of the new wallet, of course, we're gonna redesign it, but there's a button on here called DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, basically the ability to manage our own ecosystem. So in this window now, you're seeing this thing called this is the proposal window. So you can create a proposal here. You can give it a name. You can give it your URL. And from that, you can go through the wizard and give it how much Guap you want to be rewarded. You can put how many months you want to be rewarded that. And once you hit submit, it'll show up right here for any wallet owner to see, any Mastodon owner or anybody who runs the desktop wallet. So anybody with this wallet can actually see your proposal. And what they can do is they can come here and they can vote yes or no. And let's say they have more than one masternode. They can select from a number of their masternodes and then vote yes or no, as many masternodes as they own.
Hey, welcome back. This is Darius A. Stanton with the Lights of the Roundtable, and also joined by our queen, Darlene Brown.
Hey, welcome back. Excited, loving this discussion.
No doubt. And the king himself, Marcus Johnson. What's up, brother?
Learning, brother. That's it. Loving the conversation and looking forward to going deeper.
And as we go deeper, the deeper model, make sure you look out for that DEEPER, the deeper model by Marcus Johnson, is the founder of Guap Coin, Miss Tavonia Evans. Peace and love, queen. Welcome back.
Hi, fun.
And Ansylla Ramsey, the founder of CryptoVibes.com. Hey, Ansylla.
Hello.
Ansylla, aren't you so excited about the fact that I pronounced your name so perfectly?
You are a pro now.
Hey, listen, before we took the break, we started to dig into, we got a chance to understand a little bit about who Tavonia is and who Ansylla is and what made us who we are. And then we started to tap into, the coin, and what is Guap Coin. But before we get into it and dig deep, there was something that was said. In the beginning, we talked about Tavonia's reason she's the founder of Guap Coin, okay? And we talked about why she decided to found her own coin. And the reason being,
Our own coin.
I love that. That's right, our own coin. And the reason why she did that is because she was in a startup and going out to venture capitalists, and they were not lending, the groups of folks that she went to were not lending to Black women in tech, right? And, you got to ask the question, tech's been out, forever, right? I mean, literally, because we built the pyramids, which was totally technology. But when you fast forward it, why haven't we seen more Black billionaires in technology? So we have one now, Robert Smith technically is a billionaire off of technology, right? But you got to ask the question, why don't we have more Black billionaires in technology? Well, one, people got to let you in. You got to be able to trade, and you need the resources. But it was something that Tavonia said, aside from that really struck me. And she said, when I asked the question about how did you become so strong to be able to overcome and still look for solutions, even in the face of adversity. And she said, because of my mom. But she said, my mom brought her privilege to the table. And see, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but fortunately, words have power. But what is unfortunate is that we get caught into labels. And some of the labels that we are throwing around right now are white privilege, white supremacy. And here on the Lights of the Roundtable, we slam that on top of his head, right? We don't go for that. What's the term we use, Marcus?
White insecurity.
That's right. There's nothing supreme about mistreating, abusing, battering, and disrespecting people at all. And so I love the fact that she said she brought her privilege. Tavonia, what were you talking about with your mother when she brought her privilege? What was she bringing to the table?
Well, my mother, my mom's a boss, number one. And she knows that she works hard for what she has. My grandmother's saying, my grandmother used to have a plaque on the wall. Used to say, I pay the cost to be the boss.
Oh, that's my mother's favorite saying. No wonder why.
So both my grandmother and my mother knew they were bosses. So there was no one telling them what they worked for and what they earned was not well earned and not to be well respected. So, that was the privilege. I've earned the right to be at this table. I've earned the right to participate in this conversation. I've earned the right to be a boss.
Got it. Okay, I had to bring that back around because MJ teaches his daughter how to be a boss. Darlene, both of her children are twins, and they're bosses in their own rights. My children already have their own businesses, and they understand boss. And if you met my mother, then you'd know I'm cut from a cloth that is a boss cloth for sure from the female. But I appreciate you sharing that. So now let's get into it. So we're gonna throw things out there, terms. I really want people to understand the basics, so they understand, cryptocurrency in itself, the technology, the platforms that they work on, and then, we want to then get into a wallet and what that means, and then, how Guap coin is affiliated to Ethereum, Coinbase, Bitcoin. That's the path. Am I going on the right path?
So hey, hold on one sec though. But what I want to make sure of is that people who don't have our level of understanding of this can start to get into it, because I understood everything you just said, but I know that there are many people, and the majority of the people that are listening to us right now, the reason we're not in a lot of things is because we don't know how to connect it all together, and we don't know where to start. I want to know how to start. I have $1,000 extra dollars, or $5,000 extra dollars, or 10. What do I do with it as it relates to crypto? That's important. All that other crap is good. And I'm not calling it crap, Darius.
No, cool. I wanted somebody to challenge that.
Right, yeah. All that
and
is great.
Let's say this. I want to add one little piece. If I don't have 1,000, can I do it with 50? So go ahead and answer the question. Tavonia, you jump on, and then my sister, Crypto Biz.
Well, firstly, I'd like to say is I don't think that we don't understand or have the knowledge. I think that we are very, very highly intelligent, but I think that we tend to overthink things. There are certain things that we overthink, and when it's new, we tend to overthink it. When it's brought to us, we're trying to attack it from all angles.
But I think there are a lot of people that have no clue. They might be intelligent. They may have the capacity to learn it, but it's a lot of people who really don't know.
Well, I'm kind of going off the experience of working with just people who just come in.
Okay.
And they tend to do too much. Like they tend to want to do too much. And it's not totally, and it's not totally their fault. Back in 2017, when Bitcoin kind of went through the roof, people hit the ground running with pushing the technology. You know what I mean? It was blockchain this, blockchain that, blockchain this, instead of money. This is money. This is new money. It's digital money. That wasn't taught. And it definitely wasn't taught to us. What was pushed on us was, this is this new technology, blockchain, and it does this and it does that. Mind you, when we first got our hand on debit cards, we don't know, when we log into our online banking, we could care less about Java servlets and all of these other things that make our online banking possible. We don't care about any of that. We just want to be able to function. So we were not taught from a functional level, because in my opinion, it was not pushed to be so that we can use it for mass adoption like we're supposed to. People talk about mass adoption behind the scenes, like, oh yeah, this is mass, but they really don't, their actions don't match up with their words when they're talking about mass adoption.
But Tavonia, I think that's in your circle. I don't think that we talked.
I'm talking about my 97-year-old grandmother.
But I'm talking about the people. I don't agree. I hear where you're coming. We're talking about two different things. I'm talking about the people who are watching this show. And again, I agree with you. I agree with the cause. I agree with where you're going with it. But I just think that there are people out here that don't have a clue. They don't even have an inkling of beginning to understand blockchain. So we can't get into Java.
The problem is we don't have a clue about money.
Well,
that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's
right.
A good point.
So this is part of what our show here is about, bringing the spotlight and guests who can provide information that will empower, right? And so many people don't understand money and don't have a good relationship with money. And as a result of that, there are walls up. So, cryptocurrency, nah. And then there are other layers to, again, when we talk about having courage and not having a good, healthy sense of self, right? Who you are, then you don't even have the confidence to say to someone, I really don't understand that. What does that word mean? I've never heard it before. I'm a very intelligent person and well-read and well-traveled, but that doesn't mean because it is new that everything that I read, I understand. And so I think breaking it down at that level would help, because you know, we want to know. And yes, we do overthink things. I think particularly as a culture of people, because of our relationship with money, right? Our belief about money, we tend to overthink because of fear. At the end of the day, this show, The Lights of the Roundtable, we understand that we are abundant. We have everything we need. We are powerful people. You speak of royalty, you speak of your mother, and privilege. Well, I know. And when I know who I am and I know whose I am and I understand the responsibility that comes with that, right? We talk about the manifestation, but doing the work means just that, doing the work. So speak a little bit to our audience, breaking it down at a base level, like if they've never heard those words before, those terms. You know, is there...
Give us the base.
When I introduce the concept of blockchain, I only use it for one reason only. And that, what I'm telling people is why it's important. The only important part about it, not necessarily what it is, going totally deep into, but why it's important. And why blockchain is important is because it's well, more than one reason, but two reasons is because it's transparent. Another reason is because it's decentralized. And decentralized means that it's not attached to all of these little power structures that we have set up in the capitalist system. It's totally, divorced from that. The idea is to divorce ourselves from the banks, divorce ourselves from the central banks, divorce ourselves from the government in terms of our money and how we're doing business and transacting with one another, because government is not supposed to be there. Right? So decentralized is the disruption of the current power oligarchy that we have going on that deals with money. Disruption of that. Let's remove all of that. Let's get rid of the middleman and let's be able to transact with one another one-to-one, rather than having to go through a whole structure in order for my money to get to you so that your products and services or something could get to me. Right. So that's the why, and that's a big why to us, because having these structures that are disrupting our businesses and disrupting how we do business is something that's kept us at a poverty level for so long. So now we can remove that. We can do business without that. And not only can we do business, but now we can do business without borders, which is another why. Now we can do business with somebody way across the world without having to go through the banking system to do so. Okay. So
I was going to say, so speak to, if I'm a person, like we said, what was the original question? I got $50 or I got $100 or I got 1,000 or 10,000. And I'm now, someone is coming and I'm listening to this show, right? And two-part question, where could I go? How do I get started? And then where could I go? Obviously, you're in this business, your organization, that would be a resource for me to continue my education, to continue to get this information where I would understand and grow in my knowledge of the cryptocurrency.
Well, the first place you go is to the community, because you look at this as cryptocurrency and currency, but what we really are is a community that has tools. And one of our tools is this currency. So the first thing you want to do is you want to come to the community. You want to come to the Telegram. You want to go to the website. You want to go to the forum, because you're going to come in contact with people who are going to help you along the way, who are going to help you to the next process. And at the same time, you're giving what we need. We need to build our community. We need to build our numbers. We don't need your money as much as we need you. Right? So you come and you join the community. The next thing is you got to understand that you're not investing in Guap coin and you're not buying Guap coin. You're divesting in the dollar, right? So you're saying that I want to be able to function. I want to be able to function outside of this instrument in the dollar. I want to be able to support businesses in my community in an efficient way, in a way that can make a real impact. Let's try this. So let me divest some of these dollars that I have and let me put some of it in this community structure and try this out. We want people to change their mind about it, because people tend to get in thinking that, well, I'm going to get in and I'm going to make money. Well, you're creating money. This is money. You're not coming in and making more dollars. That's not the point. The point is to come in and create more value for yourself and your community using this instrument of this financial instrument to do it.
I love that. I love the fact that we talked, this is is really critical because what you did, you unlocked something for me. You unlocked something because it is a shifting. People don't realize the reason why the continent of Alkebulan, which was named Africa by somebody Dutch, but the true word named by people of Kemet was Alkebulan. The reason why Alkebulan is in such poor condition is because they have been first and foremost colonized, but then even after the colonizers left and gave people their freedom, like in the countries that are run by France, they still deal with something called francophone. Francophone is a form of currency that they take and trade on the dollar, and then the people get paid in the currency. They still trade internationally through dollars, but then they give them back this cheap francophone that can only be used in their country, and they take the dollar, right? To your point, we needed something that destabilizes that system, that destabilizes all of those people who are controlling the money. Haiti gets the most money ever raised in a natural disaster in the world, and they are still as poor as the day before the disaster took place, right? And by the way, Obama put Bill Clinton and George Bush in charge of that. I just wanted to put that note out there, right? So when you unlock and just tell people to join the community and become a part of a community that is destabilizing something that has really enslaved us from a financial perspective, I think now people will come to the table with a whole different, I can make money off of it. Yeah, I can do some other things financially and trade, but I can also help to raise the bar of the quality of life for people and not have to go to somebody else who's controlling the dollar and has not been a good job based on past performance by doing so. So for me, remember, as we say on this show, hashtag the lights are on, right? So put your hashtags up, share us, like this show. We got 2 minutes left in this segment. So I want to just did you want to say something, Tavonia, on that?
I just wanted to add something really quick too.
Please.
I talked about the privilege that I had, and I'm also pointed to the value that we have. Our value is so tremendously high. I talk about something all the time, and that's our social capital. We're very wealthy in social capital. So to be able to, what we do is we take our wealth and social capital and we invest it in the dollar. So imagine if we withheld our social capital and invested in what we wanted to invest into to show our wealth where we would wind up being. So, I just wanted to add that as well.
No, I love that. And the fact that we have now, what I got out of this segment, it's a change in mindset.
Yes, absolutely.
We are the value. Don't get worried. Everybody's got a bag. They're chasing the bag. They chase yourself.
Well, I always say anything you chasing is running from you anyway. So hello.
That's right. Look in the mirror and chase that. Go chase that. Get a puff off of that. Hey, look, this is Darius A. Stanton for Marcus Johnson, Darlene Brown, and our queens of crypto. When we come back, we're going to get into how to use those things, because just now you got the foundation, the reason for the why. And the why is not to make money. The why is to be able to create a greater value. Use yourselves as the capital. Social capital. It should be all about us, not about the money. More mighty dollar. Yeah. Hey. All right. We'll come back with the lights of the round table. Don't forget, hashtag the lights are on. Hey, Darius A. Stanton back, but the lights are on. It's right. It's the lights of the round table with the queen, Darlene Brown.
Hey, excited to be back.
Marcus Johnson.
Got right into it, bro.
Jump right into it. Okay, well, I'm going to get into it. So, queen, we have Tavonia Evans, the founder and creator of Guap Coin, and also the founder of CryptoVibes.com, Ansylla Ramsey. So, Ansylla, we closed in that last segment. I mean, the light went on for me. I couldn't type hashtag the lights are on fast enough. It's going to pop across the screen right now so you can see it. Make sure you push that out there. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, like us, subscribe. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook and every other platform. And please go to our website, www. You see it right there, the Lights of the Roundtable.com. Ansylla, so we were all into it because we were jostling about, what is money and tell us about Bitcoin and, Guap coin. And we wanted to understand all of the dynamic terms that are out there. And the sister said, hold up. Let's understand something. It's not about the dollar. It's not about the terms. It's really about the community. And the community is always put in the back. We have one of the sayings we use here, people over profit. That's exactly what I heard her say. This is people over profit. So thank you so much, Tavonia, for breaking that down for us and really giving us that hold up. Before we get into the terms, let's understand the reason for the why. And the why is go get involved in this cryptocurrency because it is going to liberate us as a people, as communities, regardless of skin color, regardless of whatever social class that you may have been in. China is now trying to tighten it as much as they can because they want control and they're in the position of losing control. So now that we understand that, give us the breakdown on how we get involved and how we engage in cryptocurrency.
Well, the first question that was asked previously was, okay, if I have $50 or $1,000 or $10,000, what can I do? And that really depends on what is your goal. What are you trying to do? Do you want to get a master node that's going to create passive income for you? Do you want to just put some money into a cryptocurrency and hold it? So you have so many options, but we're just going to talk about how to get Guap coin. Let's just talk about that because beyond that, we could go into all different directions. So if you go to guapacademy.org, there are step-by-step instructions on how to get a Guap wallet. You can get that on an Apple device or your Android or a web version. You get your Guap wallet, and then there's a video that shows you how to acquire Guap coin on the Probit exchange. You just follow those steps. You get the amount that you want to get, however many dollars you want to exchange for Guap, you do that. Then you have your Guap coin on Probit, and then you can move it to your Guap wallet. That's just like bare bones. This is how you get Guap coin. And everything clearly explained. Mm-hmm. Probit is a cryptocurrency exchange. So cryptocurrency exchanges are where you can purchase, send and receive, or trade cryptocurrencies. Okay. So that's it. Anyone can do it anywhere in the world. So go ahead and get your Guap wallet, free download, and then get your Guap coins. Now, if you want to get a master node and you want to begin earning Guap coin every day like I do, then you have to take some different steps, but it's definitely an option. And I encourage everyone who can to get a master node or a master node share if at all possible.
And what's a master node?
Tavana's going to take that one.
Well, master nodes are servers that process transactions for Guap coin, for the blockchain. They process it. Normally in crypto, processing transactions can be a little bit slow, although it's not as slow as debit cards. Debit cards have to settle. Credit cards have to settle. And in blockchain, they settle instantly. However, master nodes, they make sure that processing is faster. And people who tend to own or run master nodes, they are incentivized for doing so. They're paid. And normally it would be a very hard process, a very technologically hard process. But what we knew that this was going to be for our people. We were going to have to do something to make that, from hosting services that put together the master nodes for people, host them, manage them, do everything. And all you have to do is sit and collect the coins. So, and we've been doing that since day one. And because of that, we've created hundreds of master node holders. And we have a lot of master nodes out there. So, it's a really good way to earn passive Guap coin because you get paid in Guap coin and you get deposits every day to your wallet. You don't have to do anything but collect.
So bringing people into the community itself really just helps to continue to boast and build the base of Guap coin, of cryptocurrency. So the more people that you engage, the greater the value. Am I correct?
Right. And take a look. Yes, exactly. The greater the value. Take a look at what's been going on in the past with all of these meme coins, like, the Doge coin and the Safe Moon, all these coins that they've been talking about. They built up big communities. It wasn't really the coin. It was the big communities that they built up that made such a noise that got these coins heard, that increased in the value in it. So this is literally our lane. This is about getting the word out and getting it heard. So when that happens, because, we're like the kings and queens of viral, so you could ask Soulja Boy, we invented viral. He invented viral. And I agree. So growing our community and getting the word out is the powerful way that we take and we make this a success story. So that's super important.
Got it. Okay. So now that we're now in the space where we have our wallet, we know we now can, with this wallet, we can now go into a space where we can exchange Bitcoin and exchange coin, and we've got a process because the wallet allows us to conduct the transactions. Am I correct?
Right. Right.
Okay, got it. So that's it. So that's that thing. We got that one. Yes, indeed. And then after we do that, now how do we start to look at and where do we go? Tell us some of the communities that we could go in so we can learn and start paying attention. So right off the bat, for those of us out there who are binging on Netflix, who are watching a whole lot of television or something else, where can people go to start spending their time so they can start making money? And I want to make this point. African Americans, you always hear about, how much money we have, right? As a consumer base, that $1.2 trillion, and we would be the 17th largest nation, economically. But the thing is, we watch more television than anybody else, per the Nielsen ratings. And that's why television is not meant for you to look at it to get content and information. It's meant for you to spend your dollar. So what I want to suggest is that we shift our mindset, stop looking at so much television and start spending time in places we can learn about this new currency. Go ahead, Marcus.
That's also, it's what Tavonia's saying from the standpoint of, and don't forget not only to get your wallet, but as you do, document the process. Talk about why you're doing this. Hey, I'm doing this today for my community. And it's not necessarily trumpeting it to everybody else, but it's your community. Hey, church community, did you know if we did this, we could do this? So instead of just putting money in, and this, we'll laugh at this, the building fund, you know what I mean? You're actually putting it into the building fund. And it's the community building fund. Right. Where if we can actually set this discrete, paradigm, we can construct a new paradigm for ourselves, which this allows us to do, that then we actually have say-so in these things where it's an akin to the old record coalitions, right? In the music industry, everybody coming together, the different, OPEC and for oil, people coming together and saying, no, you're not going to do this because if you do, we're going to take our buying power somewhere else. But you have to not just have the wallet. It is about making sure that you are taking the steps to help build the paradigm around you in the community. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, the blockchain helps you to be able to do that, the Guap blockchain. Because one of the things I've been talking about is it's not the idea of buying black, it's spending black. And you're able to do that with this blockchain. We're able to take our Guap and go and spend this at Walmart, et cetera, in these places. And when they don't honor us, we're able to take it back. We're able to say, we're not going to spend there. We're going to take our dollars elsewhere, when we really have dollars to do so. And not only really have dollars, but we got the data to do so. The data is going to show that we did that. And that's very important. I think we've been feeling around in the dark as a people. We a couple of years ago, there was like boycott Gucci because of something that Gucci did. But how do you boycott Gucci and how do you measure that? How do you measure the dollars that Gucci has lost because we stopped spending money with them? We can't. We can't measure that. So they can come back and say, well, what you didn't work. So, how do we know that it didn't work?
And I'm sorry. I was going to say, it takes the speculative. So people ask me sometimes, my students, Professor Johnson, what is speculation? And I say, like, really what it is bullshit, right? It's what somebody really says that it is at any given time. But they're like, well, the stock market's on speculation. I said, exactly. It is a game of bullshit. If I can convince you of this thing, and before there were analytics and before there were these other ways to measure real, true numbers, imagine all the other stuff that they said, even about Black people and how great the United States was and et cetera, et cetera. Great place, don't get me wrong. But now you have a scenario, which is the exciting part of all this, even in business. It is the first time that we can say, watch your numbers and let me show you how much power I have. Not, figuratively speaking, Black folk, spend $1.2 billion based on some random sample that's probably more unbiased, probably is higher than $1.2 trillion, right? But it is actual numbers to be like, now you know. And the problem that this, it is, and Tavonia, when I was saying to promote it, it is like what they did with Reddit and Dogecoin, and the fact that community in and of itself was able to, push it. They have a market cap today, what is it, almost, $29 billion for that one. But it allows us to control the story even about what we're doing. And then to use the blockchain to say, and here are the actual numbers. You can't lie. What is it, Jay-Z? Numbers don't lie, people do. This is a control thing that gives you accuracy. And that's why it is so important. And that's why, again, I wanted to get back into the pragmatic numbers, and the pragmatic ways of getting involved, as it relates to even going on and what is a master node and et cetera, because I believe it's a new way. I believe in this. I understand blockchain. Numbers don't lie. People do. It allows us to talk real numbers.
Yeah, I think we're at that point where people now are getting the sense, and that's why it's important for you to share this show, like it. Make sure you subscribe to us. Make sure you go to Guap Coin. Make sure you go to cryptovibes.com. Make sure you go to Lights of the Roundtable. Create those connections with positive news and positive information. So your energy, your circle. Darlene talked about something very early on in the show. She talked about the power of the circle, and information. Do you know I have friends that have been buying me coin and bringing it to me and giving me coin because they believe in me, right? They like put me in stuff. I did this. They didn't call me and say, hey, you got $500. Hey, you got $50. Hey, you got $1,000. They went to whatever it was. They got the information. They went and bought it and brought it back to me and say, here you go. You already set up. This is your boom, right? That's the circle. And I just thank God that, people saw enough in me to do that. My grandmother said, going back to our grandmothers, if your friends can't loan you $100, they don't need to be your friends. Now, she didn't mean that you shouldn't deal with people based on money. What she meant was, if they're not willing to share what they have with you, what you gonna do with them, right? And so that community is what I'm hearing, and the importance of that. So, we got 5 minutes left before we wrap. I really want to dig into places, where we can go. You talked about the master note, and so that people can have some things, things change so rapidly, right? So in a minute, they're going to change. But I heard you say, Ansylla, that being involved, and once you learn the process, tell us about where people can find your show, how often you do it, when you do it, and then the information we can get there. And then we're going to come back to Tavonia because we want her to tell us what we can do to support Guap Coin as a community. Because I don't know of many other Black owned and founded, cryptocurrencies that are out there. So I want her to be able to tell us for the community and everybody, join it because it's powerful. It's the energy behind it. It's the resource. And, I want people to know before we tune out.
So what I've done as a way to educate people and help them get that solid foundation in the crypto space is I do a weekly course, a 4-week course every month. Every Thursday, starting the first Thursday of the month, there's a 4-week course, and they're able to lay a solid foundation for their cryptocurrency. Because what I was finding, I've been teaching crypto now about 3 years, but a lot of people are coming into this space. But what's lacking, in my opinion, is just the security measures. People are not taking the proper measures to secure their assets. So a lot of my course focuses on that. Once you've understood how it works, you understand how to secure your information and your assets, you can get other information about growing your crypto, and that's out there. But I'm focusing on helping people get started properly. I more recently added a membership group where we come in every week and we have a breakout room and we talk about what's going on in crypto. That way people feel like they have a place they can come, they can ask questions. We don't berate anybody. We don't tell them their question is stupid. Why don't you know that? And this is very deliberate because that was my experience when I started in crypto. So I know how it is to be in a space where you feel completely lost. The people around you aren't very helpful. So this is my contribution to the cryptocurrency movement in my own community. And it is very important because people are not getting it. And when they want to get in, they're not doing it right. So that's important to me to help them get started on the right foot.
All right.
One more time, we visit where?
Cryptovibes.com. Everything's on the website.
There you go. All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Ansylla. Really appreciate you being with us today and bringing out dynamic guests also with you, Ms. Tavonia Evans. So Tavonia, tell us, how can we as a community, human beings, support Guap Coin?
Well, first and foremost, like I said, join the community. We need you. We need your body. We need what you have to offer. And, try to take a deep dive into some of the content we do have out there. We do have a YouTube channel. We do have a website, and there's a lot of information. I know it's a lot to gather, but, that's a great point, a great place to educate yourself, especially the website. I find that a lot of people haven't even visited the website.
So give us your website real quick.
guapcoin.org.
All right, there you go, guapcoin.com.
Yeah. So visit the website, and there's also guapacademy.org and et cetera. You'll find your way around on that main website. But definitely, educate yourself just a little bit. Just, we don't lay too much heavy stuff on the website. We talk about why we're doing this. We're talking about the ways that we're doing this. And, and this is not, we don't fill the initial entry point with a lot of heavy duty technology that's going to scare you away. So that's first and foremost. And then we do have a lot of videos. I find a lot of people ask us questions that if they went to the YouTube channel, they'll see each and every one of these videos answering these questions, so try to, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the official Guap Coin channel. You can look up Guap Coin and look up the official channel, or you can get to it through the website, guapcoin.org. Subscribe, look at some of the videos are there. You can even Google Guap Coin now. Go to Google and Google Guap Coin. Like literally we're everywhere. It's so funny. It's like the best kept secret. If you Google us, you will see the current price. People always ask about, well, what is the price now? Google it. It'll come right up. It'll be right there. What is the price of Guap Coin? So, Google us and see the countless interviews and emails. And we don't have no bad information out there. So there's nothing I don't not want you to see. There's literally a ton of good information, a ton of good reviews, a ton of people saying great things about Guap Coin. So I'm not afraid to tell you to Google us. So
well, Tavonia,
do that. Mm-hmm.
No, we're so excited and grateful that, you took the time to spend with the Lights of the Roundtable. Ansylla, we are so excited that you also spent the time. It's time for us to wrap, but I want everybody to just walk away. Make sure you hashtag the lights are on. You see the websites, you see, the links and people where you can go to get more information. But I want everybody to just leave us with what are the 2 or 3 words that you walked away from after listening to this show today? Put it in the chat, but also our guests. What are the things, Ansylla, starting with you? What was it for you, the 3 words, 2 or 3 words that you walked away from after hearing this conversation on the Lights of the Roundtable?
It's our coin.
Hey, I love it.
Yes. It's our coin. There you go. Hashtag that. All right. Darlene Brown?
Queen. Yeah, what
Queen.
I say? Yeah, community. That's really what this is. It's on us. We have the power.
Excellent. MJ, how about yourself, King?
Google it. Don't like at the end of the day, take everything that you had here and Google it. We have resources now where, as she said, you can find out what you need to find out. And the interesting thing about a lot of this is people in blockchain and crypto are readily eager to teach you about it. They want you to know about this because the higher cost for the entire platform and you know it's just it's that's at a whole different level. But you have to get engaged. Google it, find out what you don't know, Google it some more, and talk to people. Be engaged.
All right. And our founder of Guap Coin, what would you say you wanted to share and leave with us what you pulled away from today's conversation?
Oh, wow. It was so awesome. I pulled away, the light is on.
you get some free Lights Are On coin just for that.
Yes, the lights are on.
That's right.
That's
The Lights
a good
Are
one.
On.
That warmed my heart when the light came on. So yeah, definitely.
Well, I tell you what, for myself, I'm going to go, since I heard there's two people from Brooklyn, Darlene Brown. Queen, you're from Brooklyn as well. Is that correct?
The Bronx.
Oh, the Bronx. Okay, well, there's a New Yorker. He's got a famous line. You must learn.
Learn.
And one from Philly, right? Say you gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today. That's right. Hey, learn, right? So, and that's the greatest thing about, this opportunity is we have the ability to learn and we have the ability to liberate. Learn and liberate. So on that note, please, you got all the hashtags, the lights are on, subscribe. Make sure you like us on Facebook, share this show. We need for people to understand it's not about stop chasing the dollar. Look in the mirror and chase yourself. This is Darius A. Stanton for Queen Darlene Brown, King Marcus Johnson, and the lovely cryptocurrency queens, Tavonia Evans Queen and Queen Ansylla Ramsey saying, hashtag, the lights are on.
Lights are on. Peace and love.
Peace.